This is a new podcast. Nobody knows why there's a painted Manticore here, but if you want to know why there's a painted Manticore here, you got to go check out our cinematic relief episode of Miss Marvel. And if you want to know why it was in that episode, you got to watch the podcast, the regular podcast that came out before that. Hello,
No. It was the Final Fantasy X playthrough where we talked about it.
You got to watch one random episode of the Final Fantasy X playthrough, I guess. Hello, how's everybody doing?
I'm doing great, man. My computer is letting me know that it's record high heat outside, so that's fun.
This room is cool as shit in all.
Oh, nice.
One single vent. This room kicks ass. Anyways.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked pretty open too, so I'm sure you have a couple of different cross breezes going on. Okay, so here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cinematic Relief. I'm Thunder.
And I'm Lightning.
And today we are talking about Stranger Things Season 4. And can I just start by saying, when I went to Anime Expo, I was like, I'll just watch it all later. So I had Stranger Things Season 4 and Umbrella Academy Season 3 to watch, and I've seen all of them. And I watched them all, like, both seasons over the course of 3 days. I watched Stranger Things, and then I watched Umbrella Academy. And I really, man, there's no way for me to have known this, but it seems like I should have done those in opposite order.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I haven't finished Umbrella Academy, but you're liking Stranger Things better?
This time, at least, for sure. Umbrella Academy Season 3, I'm not going to spoil anything, obviously. It wasn't bad. It just, I like Season 1 and 2 a lot more. Let's say that. And the ending was confusing visually and like audibly. Like I just am not quite sure what happened in the finale. But we are talking about Stranger Things Season 4. And my goodness, if I can start with the negative because I have mostly positive, my Christ, were the episodes long as fuck for no reason.
Yeah, a lot of positive things to say. This might be my favorite season.
This was my favorite season,
if not my second favorite. I don't understand. There's a few things. If there's any issues with this season, it's how it was released, right?
Of course.
For every step of the way, from
right.
It takes so long, and they pulled through. And I think I called this on a podcast a while back, but they we said, okay, if you're gonna take that long, it better be like the best thing ever, and it was awesome. But
yeah. And they're doing it again. They said that the 5th season, which will be the final one, won't come out until summer of 2024.
But now they have more credibility. The issue is, before this season, they had one really good season, a flop, and then one good season.
Yeah, season 2 has its fans, but it's definitely the worst one.
Everybody I know gives up on season 2, and I'm like, no, you got to keep going. Get past season 2, because they immediately figure out, they get the kinks out immediately.
Right.
Oh, right.
I feel like season 2 has a strong ending. I feel like it has a weak beginning and a weak middle, which is probably where it loses people. Yeah. Which is fair, if you invested a whole season for the first season, and then you start season 2 and you're like, I'm done. I get it, but like, now that season 3 is out, like, keep going and it gets better.
My entire family except me gave up in season 2. Season 3 came out and I didn't try because I was like, oh man, I don't know if they'll be into it or not. I loved season 3. Season 3 and 4 are, interchangeably maybe my first and second favorite seasons. But I was like,
yeah, season 3 was really good.
Season 3 was awesome, and it was just, I don't know, they hit. I liked everything about it, but I got my dad wanted to try season 4, and I was like, all right, well, let's start watching season 4, and season 4 started kicking ass, and I was like, oh man, Mom's gotta watch this with us. She would love this. So it took a lot of convincing, but I was like, Mom, let's try watching Stranger Things again. She was like, no, I didn't like it. It was bad. The second season was bad. And I was like, yes, I'm not saying it wasn't. Second season was not great. Why don't we start at the third season? I'll tell you what happened second season. Let's just start at the third season. We started at the third. She loved it. We watched the fourth. She loved it. So she's back on board. She's part of the fandom again. And now my sister's starting it over from season one because she also gave up season two, but is hearing that season four kicked ass. So I'm just telling her, just grit, grin and bear it or whatever the
Yeah.
is through season two. And
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people are rewatching the series now, especially with all the like he's been there from the beginning stuff, because apparently this is a rumor, but it seems to be true. Apparently the Duffer Brothers went back and edited some scenes from past seasons to include like clock sound effects and stuff like that.
okay.
Apparently now that season 4 is out, they went back and recontextualized some scenes in the first 3 seasons using the power of editing.
That's some new age Steven Spielberg shit. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But I'm sure it'll connect the show together better.
I guess.
I think
that's the thing. It's cool. It was definitely unnecessary.
Yeah, I think what they're concerned about is I think I have a full understanding of what's going on, because that was my one, like, this has to happen this season or I'm gonna have issues, was they finally explained what's going on with the Upside Down.
Interesting. You feel that way, because I don't feel that way.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not saying I have a 100% know what's going on, but clearly Vecna in 11 created the Upside Down the day.
Oh yeah,
stood still, and they somehow created the Upside Down. 11 created Vecna unintentionally, and
right
has been the issue since season 1. He's trying to break free of the Upside Down. I have those answers before season 4.
But it's interesting because he's not just trying to break free of the Upside Down. He also like the reason these kids are always at the core of these situations is because he literally dislikes 11. Like, he literally has a vendetta against her.
Yeah.
What I was really confused about is in the last episode, the fucking ground opens up and like Upside Down comes out into the real world, and then it like cuts away and everything's fine. And it's like that all happened, but it stopped happening eventually, and now we're good for now.
I think what happened is they fucked up Vecna enough, but he was still like, I'm going to try it anyways. And it doesn't work out. So he's got to, Goku train, and then he'll be good to go again.
So you're saying that like the ground opening up was plan A, and that didn't work because he is weak, because they weakened him, and plan B is whatever that teaser at the very end was of all the grass turning gray.
Exactly.
Okay. And it's interesting that the second that Will was like, well, now I'm back, and it's gonna fuck with me now too.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Just a crazy ending.
Yeah.
Really exciting to lead up to what's gonna happen. It was a spooky, like that last scene was just like, wow, it's just not a secret anymore. This, like, there's a portal to hell in this in this town.
Yeah. Also, you use the word spooky. I think I always say like that Stranger Things is not a horror show, because it really isn't. But I feel like season 4 was the scariest one yet. I feel like there was.
I still think season 1 was, but okay. I can. Season 4 was definitely scarier than 3, in probably 2.
Yeah, 3 was very much like, well, because 3 takes place during the summer, so in addition to like everything is summer themed, like they're at a carnival, they stop the bad guy with fucking fireworks and all that.
Yeah.
So it was very like, there's Stranger Things stuff happening, but we're also like, we're not gonna not have fun with it.
Right.
And this one, I think intentionally so. This one really like Vecna. It seems like the show had a little more inspiration from like metal album covers than at first, like at first glance.
Well, they had fucking Freddy Krueger in this.
Yes. Oh, that's the other thing. I didn't expect this season to be such a love letter to classic horror movies the way that I always thought this show was going to be. We had Freddy Krueger literally as that one character.
Yeah.
And then we had the Michael Myers mask make an appearance, and then when she was at the prom, the balloon started to explode blood like from it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this season you've convinced. If I was like uncertain before, you've convinced me. You're right. This season was definitely the most horror centered.
Yeah. I think they leaned into it more, and I think it made for
Yeah.
a more enjoyable experience.
I think there were some scenes I was forgetting that you're absolutely right. This was definitely the scariest, especially the way Vecna killed people.
Yeah, that was as soon as Chrissy got killed, I was like at first I was like, what the hell is happening? And then I was like, oh, that's just his thing. That's just like what he does to people.
Yeah.
That's like a crazy visual. Also, can I talk about Max for a moment?
Sure.
You can survive having all 4 of your limbs broken. I don't know why she was like blind, but she's definitely blind now. And also, it would seem as though she was bleeding out of her brain. And then 11 definitely was like Baby Yoda style, like, nah, man, you're good. What I'm trying to say is if this was real life, I don't think she's ever going to wake up. And if she does, she's going to be not okay. But I feel like because it's a TV show and 11 kind of has magic, she's probably going to be fine by the end of season 5.
I bet you 11 heals her as much as she can. I bet you she stays blind.
That would be interesting.
But I bet
because like
11 heals
can you
a bunch.
like that'll be interesting to like, can you be haunted by Vecna the way he does if you're blind?
Right.
So
But
that'll be interesting.
the blinding makes sense to me because Vecna literally pops your eyeballs. So,
but he didn't do that to her.
He started to. I just think it got to a point where damage was done to the eyeballs enough that she's blind, but they didn't fucking explode.
Right.
As far as like brain bleeding, I didn't quite notice that, but like,
I mean, she was bleeding out of her eyes, so
I just assumed that was him doing whatever he does to the eyes.
Yeah, I guess I don't know, the eyes thing to me didn't seem like a long part of the process. It felt like he was just like pop and then it's done. So, that's interesting though. I didn't even think about that perhaps he started the eyeball thing but didn't finish, and that's why she has like eye ailments, but she didn't technically get killed by Vecna. What are you? Sorry.
No, just the limbs.
Oh yeah, it's yeah. What are your opinions of the 2 new characters? What are your opinions of Argyle and Eddie?
Okay. Oh, Argyle. Oh, yes. Sorry, I forgot.
The stoner.
Yeah, I forgot that was his name. I think I liked them both, and I liked them both for their own reasons. I think they killed the wrong character.
Oh, I mean, they refused to kill a main character. They should have killed Max.
No,
I don't want Max to die, but they should have killed her.
I mean, they introduced 2 characters. One was clearly set up for slaughter. I think they killed the wrong new character.
You think that well, I think that if Argyle kicked it, there wouldn't be. I feel like I wouldn't care as much.
Okay, I'll give you that. I think they accidentally made a Qui-Gon Jinn out of Eddie. I think he was a lot better of a character than they gave him credit for, and I think they killed him too soon. I think he should have been in more of the show.
Yeah, people have like theories about like, well, here's what happened with Vecna in Dungeons and Dragons. Could they be doing that with Eddie? But I don't know. I think that might be a little too far.
No, that bitch be dead. He's no longer with us.
So I sort of disliked both of them at the beginning,
okay.
but I think they both grew on me. Here's what I don't like: they each have like a thing that like defines them, and Argyle's is smoking weed, and Eddie's is being a dungeon master. And Argyle's obviously Argyle's a comic relief character, right? Argyle's entire thing is weed. He listens to music exclusively about weed. He only watches Cheech and Chong movies. Like, everything about him is weed, you know? And if you take that over to Eddie, Eddie's like a weird guy, and it kind of takes a few episodes for you to be okay with that. Yeah. And I really, as a person who dungeon masters regularly, I feel like that was them being like, this is how dungeon masters act. Look at this weirdo. He referenced Lord of the Rings, even though it's like a book series and not a movie at this point in time.
I think your stereotype is actually misplaced. I think you're missing the larger part of Eddie. Eddie is a metalhead, and I think the fact that he's a dungeon master is a side effect of the metalhead stereotype. I think Eddie as a character, as a two-dimensional character, and you're not wrong, they kind of made these two characters have one thing. Eddie's thing isn't dungeon mastering, though. Eddie's thing is he's a metalhead.
Well, see, that wasn't explained. I feel like that wasn't explained quick enough. Like, I feel like you meet him as the dungeon master, and then the next scene with him, he's dealing drugs. So you're like, okay, so we've got dungeon mastering and drug dealing. And then you like hear word of him being a metalhead, but I feel like that one, as far as what was explained to the audience, was like the least important one. I think I understand what you're getting, and I think you're totally right. I'm just saying, like, I think the show might have done not a great job, like, visually explaining that to me. Like, I met this character, and I was like, a dungeon master. Oh, one that deals and smokes weed. Got it. And then you find out about his love of metal music.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. They buried the lead, so to say. They didn't quite explain. Like, if you're gonna have a character have one thing, introduce that one thing immediately, and they kind of jumped around. And I think they jumped around with his hobbies to try and make him seem like more of a fleshed out character. Here's the thing too, though, is like these characters are kind of two-dimensional, but they're also like C-level cast members at this moment, so like you don't have a lot of room to get more in depth with their characters. So I'm not saying like, oh, they wrote bad characters, they didn't flesh out their characters enough. I'm saying they didn't really have the time to, because they weren't that important as far as their personalities go to really.
One of them not important because they are literally just a comic relief character, and the other one not that important because they're not going to be around anymore after this season.
Right. But I bet you they're going to do some Force Ghost shit with him. I don't know how.
That's what people. So in Dungeons and Dragons, Vecna has been like the main villain of like more Dungeons and Dragons modules than any other Dungeons and Dragons character. Vecna is about to come back in like a major way, I think, because we have more Stranger Things coming. Vecna was the main bad guy of Critical Role's first campaign, and their TV show, if it gets a season 3, is probably going to have Vecna all in it. And then sooner rather than later, we're getting 6th edition, and there's a lot of people who think that Vecna is going to be the big bad once again in 6th edition, because that's Vecna's whole thing, is he just keeps coming back. You get rid of him, and then he just keeps coming back. They're obviously doing that to a smaller extent on Stranger Things. So a lot of people are theorizing that Eddie is going to play fill the role of Kas, Kas, which is sort of like Vecna's like in D&D. Kas is Vecna's like first in command, and they like essentially get in an argument, and then I think Kas kills Vecna, and then he becomes Vecna or something like that. It's unclear to me. I was just learning about this the other day.
Okay.
And Shuria says they just put out a free mini Vecna adventure. I did hear about that. I think it's called like the Vecna manuscript or something like that. It seems cool. I didn't know it was free, and I didn't know it was mini. I might actually check that out. That's cool. So yeah, no, I don't think we're done seeing Eddie, and I think it's going to be more than like a flashback scene. Like I think Eddie's somehow still hanging out in the Upside Down.
I could see that. I think he's dead, but
yeah,
but I don't think that necessarily means he's not on some sort of plane in the
right. Yeah, I did think it was interesting that they were like hard confirm the Upside Down is a different dimension that he accidentally stumbled into, and the reason it looks like Hawkins is because that's where he grew up or whatever. You know, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, but it doesn't just look like Hawkins. Nancy.
Yeah, it is Hawkins from season 1, right? That's what it is. Yeah.
Episode 1, day 1 of Stranger Things. That is the day that the Upside Down is stuck in.
Right.
That's bizarre to me. See, that part I feel like we could use some more explanation for. Like, why does it look like...
Right, yeah, I think that's one of the things that'll get answered in season 5.
Yeah, no, that's why I was saying, like, I don't have all the answers, but I have a pretty strong grasp as to what is going on.
Right.
But
yeah, exactly.
I don't know. This season was really cool. I really liked Lucas's story. I really liked.
Yeah, Lucas. I agree, because I feel like of all the 4 boys, you know, of all Mike, Will, Lucas, Dustin, and 11, I'll include, and Max, right? Out of all of them, I feel like Lucas is weirdly before season 4 was like the least fleshed out. Like Lucas was around and he definitely had some scenes, but I feel like season 4 really let him shine as his own character, and it really made me like really care about him for once. I feel like this was a great Lucas season.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you.
Absolutely. You know,
what is your...
Yeah. No, go ahead.
What is your opinion? We're 4 seasons in. What is your opinion of what is his name? I think his name's Murphy. The guy with the beard who's hanging out with Joyce trying to get Hopper back from Russia. The weird conspiracy theory dude.
Oh, I love him. I didn't realize he kind of like he's in at least season 2.
Yeah, because remember, he's the one who he's actually a Nancy and Jonathan character first. They go to him and he lets them stay on their couch.
No, he's in the show before that.
Really?
Episode 1 of season 2. I just know because my sister's watching it. He's in Hopper's office like, there's some fucking alien shit going on in Hawkins. You gotta listen to me. And Hopper, get the hell out of here, you freak. I know.
Forgot about that.
Me too. I looked back and I was like, are you shitting me? I thought this character showed up in like season 3 or the end of season 2. Here he is, just like a regular dude. He's in a suit and stuff.
Right.
Had a very unceremonious introduction that I just totally forgot about, because I also thought that's where he started. But I like him, and the guy who plays him is a comedian, so like I'm not surprised that this is where his character ended up. But I'm not gonna lie, he's like stealthily becoming one of my more favorites. Like if he died, I think I'd be bummed. I think I'd be, oh man, do you not like him?
No, I like him too. I just think it's weird that every time he's reintroduced, he's like
a little different.
He's like, well, he's not just a little different. He's like, every time we meet him for the first time in a season, he's always like, remember my thing? I'm a shut-in who, like, thinks that the government is watching me, and I don't like to call anyone, and how dare you call my house phone. Cut to season 4, he's literally like, well, time to go to Russia right now. Let's go on a globe-trotting adventure. Me, the guy who doesn't like to leave his house because he thinks the government controls the clouds or whatever.
I think it's character development. I think he's just, coming out of his shell, so to speak. Like he at this point, after season 3, what else can he do that's going to get him in trouble?
Well, that's the thing. Season 3, I felt like the whole time, I felt like the vibe of Murphy, I think that's his name, was like...
I think you're close. I don't know if that's it, but I think it's something.
Yeah. I think his vibe was like, Christ, okay, let's go solve the problem so I can get back to, like, being a recluse who hates the government. And then season 4, he's just like, oh, well, fuck it. We have to go save the dude. I'll come, sure.
Yeah, no, I think he's just developing. I think he was the cold-hearted Grinch, and I think, Joyce and the family have kind of gotten him to be more open and caring.
Yeah, which is cool because he's, quite honestly, a giant Deus Ex Machina. He's literally like, no one on the, no, hang on, let me do a tally. No one knows what this thing is. Okay, Murphy, what about you? And he's like, well, actually, I studied this.
Right.
I gotta look up his name. I gotta know that I'm wrong or right.
One of my favorite parts about season 3, one of my favorite scenes in season 3 of Stranger Things is there's one single word that he was having trouble translating for Hopper. He's saying this. This doesn't make sense in context with what we're talking about. And Hopper was like, what do you mean you don't know? And he just turns to him and he's like, are my free translations not good enough? It's like,
yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, you guys just kind of broke into his house and demanded he give free translations for you.
Right. So his name is Murray.
That's it. Murray.
I was like,
yeah.
It might as well be Murphy. I was so close. I want to talk about Robin, because something important happened with Robin this season that I want to discuss.
Yeah, you might have to remind me, but I feel like I got a weird vibe from Robin this season. Could Robin be bisexual?
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that. That would be
you say your thing, but I have an explanation as to why I feel that way. I'd like to.
Okay, yeah. So no, Robin's definitely a weirdo, but what I'm talking about is, like, so in season 3, everyone assumes that Robin is going to be Steve's new love interest.
Right.
And then you get to the end of the season and she's like, okay, actually, fuck, here's my story. I am gay. And I always have been, and I'm not going to go out with you, Steve, but here's why. And Steve, in a very not how someone from the 1980s would react, he was like, oh, no, that's cool. That's great for you. I'm super happy. So then, in between season 3 and season 4, I was kind of like, that can't just be it for her I'm a lesbian story, because if that's the end of that arc and we never talk about her sexuality again, then she was literally just like, her homosexuality was a plot device to further Steve's story.
Right.
And I feel like that would be in poor taste. I'm really happy that, because her story was not invasive. It was like a side story that, like, you forget about until it comes back. And then it had, like, a kind of really cute ending, and if that's where the story ends, I think I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, no, I thought that was cool. What was I gonna say?
Something about her being bisexual, possibly?
Oh, I'll get there, but I did. Talking about what you were talking about. I thought it was a little cliche. I thought the story was also cute, but I thought it was a little cliche. Oh, although they haven't explained it yet, but like the girl that she was into did end up also happening to be at least bisexual because she
Right.
guy. Then they broke up, and then her and Robin were kind of hitting it off, and I was like,
Well, that's what I really liked about that scene is that it didn't confirm that she's bisexual. It was just like Robin gets to talk with this person she's had butterflies about this whole season, and they're like hitting it off. Maybe she's totally straight, but this scene is cool.
right. No, I can get down with that. That was a cool scene. And it is cool that they didn't quite explain because I thought that it was like open and shut, but it wasn't. That was cool.
Right. Yeah. No, I like Robin. I always have. She definitely took my spot for favorite character in season 3. I'll I have one more thing that I was I got to talk about this before the no, but you talk about your Robin thing first.
Well, I can't remember if it was season 3 or season 4, but there was one point where she's having like kind of an spoken inner monologue where she was like talking to Steve, and she was like, "I like you. It doesn't make any sense that I like you because of blank, but I like you." And I was like, "Oh, are you getting feelings for Steven?"
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't remember that. I remember it now that you're telling me, that you're reminding me.
I was just like, are you uncertain about your thoughts towards?
Well, was she not in that scene? Was she not speaking in the third person about the girl from the class? Was she not? Because I feel like that her reveal was kind of like, it was kind of like that, where Steve still thinks she's talking about him, and then she's like, "No, I was talking about other girl." Do you think maybe?
You know what? It was season 3, and I think this is when she finally tells him she is a lesbian, but she was talking about him because he was like, why aren't you into me? Or are you into me? Or this and that. And that was her kind of her response.
Okay.
Was I do like you. It doesn't make any sense why I like you. And we don't understand what that means because the reveal hasn't happened yet. But she was like, but I do like you. And that whole time I was like, oh, were they starting a plot that maybe there's some uncertain aspects to her in her sexuality? Or
Yeah.
but it seems like now that I'm recalling it as season 3, it seems like they kind of scrubbed out that plot point.
Yeah.
But no, Robin's cool. I like Robin.
Yeah. What did you think of Will's little arc this season?
Is he gay arc?
Yeah, the whole I don't think there's I think he's definitely gay, but I think the struggle that he's having is that he definitely is into Mike.
Yeah. I think, how do I put this? The one thing I don't like about that arc is it's definitely fan made. It's definitely like fan service that arc is happening. Because between season 3 and 4, everybody was like, "Oh man, Will's definitely gay, isn't he? He's gay. I promise you, he's gay." And then it just felt like they were like, "Okay, just do it." Which is, I'm just kind of sick of fans determining what's going to happen in TV shows if that's what it was. The scene in the car, where he breaks down. I can't remember exactly what's going on in this.
Well, because because 11, when she's writing the letter to Mike at the beginning of also Monsoon in chat says the actor for Will confirmed that Will is gay and likes Mike.
He doesn't have any say either. He can confirm that all he wants.
True. No, but so 11's writing a letter to Mike, and then she's like, Will is making painting a drawing for someone. I don't know who it is. It's probably someone he likes. And then in the car, Will lies and is like, "Oh yeah, 11 commissioned me to make this. It's for you, and that's why I brought it." He doesn't say this, but I was like, "Oh, that's why he brought the painting to the airport, because he was just gonna be like, 'Here you go,' but he got cold feet because he's gay in the 80s, and the kid he has a crush on is his best friend and is also straight, so he doesn't know what to do with himself.
And I think Mike is also picking up on those feelings, and that's why he's kind of been distant towards Will.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Jonathan and Will had a really cool scene where Jonathan was like, he didn't say this, but he was basically like, listen, I know you're gay, and it's cool. I love you. You're my brother. I feel like we haven't had that conversation with Mike yet.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what we're missing. I feel like we have to have a conversation where Mike's like, I know you're gay, and I'm chill about it.
Mike, since like season 2, maybe season 3, has just kind of been an asshole.
Oh, I've been team fuck Mike this whole time. I don't like Mike. I know he's technically the main character, I think, or some shit, but I do not like him.
I think Mike's figuring stuff out. I think Mike's an asshole until somebody points out that he's an asshole, and then he's like, oh, I just won't do that.
Well, I thought that's what the conversation with Hopper in season 3 was going to be when they're in the car, and he's like, this is my rules. I'm the adult. And he's like, but I'm an adult too. And he's like, no, you're fucking not. I thought that was going to like be a change, but he's still kind of being a dick in season 4.
Yeah, I don't dislike Mike. I think they've made him kind of be like I don't even know what you'd call it. I'm going to cause an issue, not realize I'm causing an issue, and then once it's pointed out to me, I'll realize the error of my ways. And it's just happening to Mike.
Yeah. Hello, Rue. Welcome on in. We are talking about Stranger Things Season 4. And there's a Manticore Butthole, a blurry Manticore Butthole for your enjoyment. Chris did paint that figure, so the butthole is his fault.
Unintentional, but it is there.
Yeah, no, completely unintentional. Wink. Okay, so I have to talk about actually, hold on one sec.
Yeah.
Hold on one sec. Yeah, let's, so we're definitely not done talking about Stranger Things. We do have to reset the Zoom call.
That's fine.
So let's do that real
literally
quick.
Rue and everybody else, don't go anywhere. This will take literally a second. We're talking about good stuff, though. Let's remind ourselves where we were just at, though. We were talking about Mike and Will. So let's pick up there.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, here we go.
All right. And then I do this. Okay, just a reminder, people watching, we're not done. Just getting a call back up. Zoom has a new. I'm just gonna allow this real quick. Zoom has a new. Whoops! I closed everything. There we go. Zoom has a new feature where you have to pay for Zoom, and if you want to use their services for free, one-on-one calls can only last 40 minutes. So we are gaming the system. Don't tell Big Papa Zoom corporate what we're doing. And everything will be A-okay. Here comes Chris, a.k.a. Lightning, ready to go. His phone will not. Hey, there we go. His phone refused to go into landscape mode, but we're good. We're back.
Yeah, Mike and Will. That scene was gut-wrenching, though, in the car. And
yeah,
it really, like, you try and put yourself in his shoes, like, oh.
Yeah.
But
it's I felt Will struggle so much more than Robin's, because Robin was just like, yeah, I'm gay. But Will was like, you can see it. He's just like, I'm gay. It's the 80s.
Right. Well,
the person I have feelings for, the person who's making me realize that I'm gay, is my straight best friend who has a girlfriend.
Right.
Who is also my friend.
I think this is a Duffer Brothers retcon, and let me explain what I mean by that. Whether this was a fan-made decision for this character or not, I think what they're doing is they realized with Robin that they made a 21st century 2020 or whatever conversation about sexuality in season 3 that was just so unrealistic for the time period that they're referencing.
Yeah, as much as I love Steve, the fact that he wasn't like, isn't being gay the devil's thing, like, was like totally unrealistic.
Right. Or at least being like, oh, let's get you to a camp.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, after this heist, we're done communicating.
We can fix that. Don't worry.
But you just haven't tried Steve yet.
That's the most realistic. But I think that they're just kind of retconning it, being like, you know what? This is definitely a more delicate conversation for this time period.
Yes, exactly. And Ashuria said it beautifully in chat. Robin was just a cool gay character. Will's story made me question my life experiences.
Sure. I mean, it just, I mean, I can't quite, you know, I don't understand, but I understand I don't understand type of thing. But
right, yeah. You can sympathize, you just can't relate.
Right. Exactly. But like, I felt it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, everybody felt that scene was very powerful, even with technically on paper zero context. They
right.
had to explain anything, you know.
Right.
As long
That's what's cool about that scene. They didn't really explain anything, but you got it. You know what's happening.
Yeah. No, it's a beautiful story in arc, and when I say beautiful, I mean it's being portrayed beautifully. Not that it's horrendous. This poor kid suffering, but
oh yeah. No, I knew what you meant.
But my one thing, the one thing that'll always get me is I'm just sitting there like, oh, they did such a good job. I wish fucking internet trolls didn't create this arc, but
yeah, I'm not. I definitely see what you mean. I'm not ready to like blame the internet for that 100% until I hear that that's actually what happened, because there was one scene in season 3, the scene in the rain where he's like, did you think we were gonna play D&D our whole life?
Yeah.
There was that, but I kind of like, and I know I'm not alone in this, I was kind of getting like asexuality vibes from that scene.
Yeah no, I agree with you. Even if I mean, they're not idiots. They were obviously hinting at something with those scenes, but
right,
even if it wasn't sexuality, it could have just simply been, you know, if they were to sit down and people were like, so what did that scene mean? And they were like, well, it had nothing to do with sexuality. I feel like the next thing they could say was, it's the desire to not lose your childhood, to not
right,
your childhood and your innocence and this and that.
yeah.
Honestly, and this is coming from a straight guy, so maybe I didn't read into the context well enough, but that's what I took away from the scene initially. Until
no, there was definitely that, but I think that in Will's mind I think Will has a better understanding of that scene now in his own mind, where he's like, oh, it's not that I didn't want to grow up, it's that I didn't want to grow up without Mike, the guy I have a crush on.
Right.
And now, in that car ride, I'm finally facing my feelings. Because I feel like even the painting was an indirect way of like, I'll just make this for my friend Mike. Nothing weird about that. But then in the car ride, he was really like, fuck, I like this dude, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was very real. It was like you said. It was a cool moment, but like obviously what he's going through is bad. But the scene was really good, really well shot. And it is cool to see that the actor is so on board with this change, and yeah, I hope that Stranger Things season 5 is setting itself up to fail, because I feel like a lot's gonna happen, and there's a few subplots that I feel like have the potential to get thrown to the wayside, and maybe they don't wrap up as neatly as we would want them to.
Yeah.
I would really like them to. That being said, gotta talk about this. My least favorite part of this season was the whole Nancy, Steve, Jonathan love triangle. I don't know why.
Team Jonathan, Team Steve.
I don't know why. It's frustrating because Steve. I think what I'm learning is I don't like Nancy. But
the issue with Nancy is she's just very wish-washy. Just like, I don't know. My issue with Nancy is she's very prissy, for a better word. She's
right.
Very snobby, actually, I think is a better way to put it.
Which is working really good for her reporter job, but...
Yeah. But she's just too... Nancy's a player, whether she wants to think she is or not. She's definitely not afraid to kind of toy with Jonathan.
Right. And I think I don't like that about her. And I think what's making me say that this was my least favorite part of season 4 is that Steve, in my opinion, is such a good character, and he spent like 75% of season 4 talking about how he didn't want to smooch Nancy, even though he totally does.
Yeah. No, Steven. Why do I keep saying Steven? His name's Steve.
I don't know.
Why? Because the other character goes by Jonathan.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
John. So, Steve, like, maybe my favorite character of Stranger Things, but like,
yeah, he's great, and I feel like he wasted it. Do you agree with me? Like, I feel like he wasted half the season just being like, "Oh, I do like Nancy."
Oh, absolutely. No, they kind of wasted his character a little bit. I do love that the meme of him being the mom, just
the babysitter. Yeah,
but
yeah.
um
I like the part. I really like the part where Max was like, "I could drive," and he was like, "No, never again." I thought that was genuinely a funny moment between these two characters that don't normally talk to each other.
He just has a really good chemistry with like all the kids on the show. It just keeps working out.
Yeah.
But I want to touch on that Nancy thing one more time, because I don't even think that it's so much so that she's kind of a bit too into the idea of, seeing which guy wants me more type of thing. But it's also, she's just very like, who, me? No, not Nancy. Like, she's
she's definitely filling the stereotype of like desirable like 80s high school prom queen.
Yeah, well, she's playing dumb a bit too much about the whole situation.
Is she playing dumb, or is she dumb?
No, she's not dumb. That's the thing, is she's not dumb. She's actually probably one of the smartest characters in the room. When
she also, I do love the subtle, like, throughout the whole season, it's just like, it's not a secret anymore. She loves shotguns.
Oh, I know. Yeah. She loves guns. But that's so they love, I guess this is the Duffer Bro. I guess this is a writing issue. But like, Nancy started off as the innocent character, and she's just
right.
not that anymore. But they like,
she also started out as like the detractor. Like, Mike is like, Will's missing, we gotta, and she's like, calm down, do high school shit. There's not a fake, dimension.
Right. And well, yeah, she couldn't deny that now, but
right. Well, she couldn't deny that by the end of season 1, because she got stuck there for a bit.
Right. No, and she's just, even in regular life stuff though, they just kind of, she still likes to play the I'm just in little innocent old Nancy over here, and it's like,
right,
you're not though. And like, the quality of the character, they kind of have to go wholeheartedly one way or wholeheartedly the other way.
Right. I think a good conclusion for this character would be, I pick neither, but I just don't think they're going to do that. No. I think that she's going to have a whole season of, well, do I want Jonathan or not? Because you can, your boyfriend is away and you're hanging out with this other guy. You can come to the realization that you like this other guy, but at the end of the season, when boyfriend comes back and he's like, hey, are we okay? Be like, no, I want to break up.
Right.
That Jonathan also wants to break up with her. She obviously doesn't know that, but he gave her an opportunity to be like, actually, let's talk about breaking up, and she was just like, no, we're good. So we're gonna get more of this bullshit in season 5.
She plays innocent and she plays dumb, like all that. She's just like, oh, I don't know what's going on. I'm Nancy, I don't cause any issues.
Maybe that's where most of my issues are, is that Nancy won't make a decision edgewise. She's an ass kicker when it comes to fighting the supernatural, but when it comes to being her own character and, being in a relationship, I guess, specifically, she just won't make a decision. And it's frustrating as a viewer to, like, watch her not be able to make a decision.
As a viewer, as a bystander, not that I'm going to be like team one person or the other, but she has a toxic relationship with Jonathan. They do not have a good relationship, and I really think it would be better off if they were not together. They're just both they're both very ambitious and they both want to like one up each other. It's weird.
Mm.
It's not healthy.
Yeah, you see more of that in season 3 as well.
Yeah. Well, even,
there's a lot of like I'll help, and she's like, no, I can do it myself. In season 3.
Yeah, it should, and like the whole college issue in this one, and like it, I don't know, it's not healthy. It's not a good relationship, and like that's making me want her to just be like, oh, I'll try again with Steve. He seems to have his shit together this time. But yeah, I don't know. It's we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, fingers crossed that she's like, I pick neither. Character building moment for me, but I really don't think that's going to happen. I think it's very clear that she's going to end up with Steve, but we'll see.
The point where I kind of don't want Nancy to come out looking like the good guy. I don't want Nancy to say, you know what, I pick neither. I kind of want both of them to say, you know what, we don't choose Nancy, because
that would
kind of toxic.
That would be interesting too. But this is what I'm saying. I don't think season 5 is going to have enough time to do all that. Like, I think Nancy's going to come to a pretty quick, unsatisfying decision.
Unless, because you know how you were this is my platform to talk about this concept. I kind of want to even make a video essay about this. You know how you were even mentioning that they're pulling concepts from old classic horror movies, right?
Yeah.
Doing it too, and have a time jump halfway through season 5. Have the kids grow up.
Okay.
And then you don't even have to have time to explain their backstory. It's already explained. It already happened.
Right.
Whatever happened already happened. And now it's
okay.
Now it's the 90s or something.
And you're saying like end of the season that way?
Yeah.
They win, they beat Vecna, they close the Upside Down or whatever, and then there's like a time jump, but this time instead of 2 weeks, it's like 15 years or something.
Yeah, you can even have Vecna come back in that time. I mean, that how much are you gonna steal from it too becomes a question. But like,
right.
If you're not worried about that, have a time jump, have Vecna come back, and have them have to fight Vecna as adults.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I didn't realize you were making an It comparison. I'm with you now. That would definitely be. I don't think they're gonna do that. I wouldn't mind that. I don't think they're gonna do that.
Yeah.
So I have. I see your question, Hypno, and I will answer that in a sec. But I want to finish about Stranger Things first. I have not a theory, a prediction for season 5, and this is not an original idea. People have said this, but I think that the season is going to end. Everything's going to be fine. They're going to close the Upside Down or whatever, and Vecna's going to be dead for good, and there's no more supernatural stuff happening. And then something happens, right? And some character is going to go, "Hey, Stranger Things have happened," and then cut to credits, right? I think that's definitely gonna happen for real. And I'm trying to figure out who's gonna say that. I think it would be perfect if it was Steve. Joyce. Interesting.
Steve.
That's an interesting.
I did it again. Steve would definitely be a good one. I think it would be Joyce. That just sounds.
Yeah, I think literally like in the last couple minutes, like new character comes in who's never been introduced before and is like, oh, what's up with this? I don't know. And then someone like it's a totally normal thing, and they're like, oh, well, this is so weird. And someone's like, Stranger Things have happened, and then a laugh track plays, and then and then credits. Not really the laugh track part, but like, I think that's definitely gonna happen because obviously the show title is a play on that phrase, you know?
Oh, well, of course. I think I'd piss my pants of horror if someone said Stranger Things have happened, then kind of give like a creepy sitcom smile, stare right at the camera, and a laugh track plays, and that's how Stranger Things ends. I think
Dude,
I'm horrified.
dude, that's literally how Mystery Incorporated ended.
Really?
Yeah, at the end of Mystery Incorporated, they fix everything, and they're like in a new, like, there's no more scary stuff happening because Mystery Incorporated is like actual monsters and actual ghosts and stuff. And as we all know, every other Scooby-Doo thing is like everything's fake. It's a guy in a mask. So at the end of Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, they all get accepted to Miskatonic University, and they're like, well, we'll see, and then they drive off, and then an audience starts to clap, and you're supposed to be like, oh, this is a prequel to everything else.
Okay. This is the live action?
No, the Mystery Incorporated, the one that I watched with Hot Dog Water.
Oh, yeah.
There's not a live action. I think there's like a fan-made pilot, and I think it is called Mystery Incorporated, but that was never turned into like a real thing. But anyways, yeah, so Hypno says, I was also wondering what they would do for Stranger Things 5, if anything. Yeah, they straight up confirmed that Season 5 is coming, 2024. It's going to be the last season of Stranger Things, so that's why we're talking about how, like, there's some stuff they got to wrap up. And then Hypno Crown says, are you guys going to get the Cowabunga collection or any games coming out in the next few months? I will definitely be picking up the Cowabunga collection.
I think we were going to get on the channel, weren't we?
Well, no, we could if you wanted, but it's it's just a bunch of old TMNT games. We should still. What happened?
The new TMNT game.
Yeah, that one's called Shredder's Revenge. That one we should definitely mess around with on the channel at some point because it's just so good. And as far as games coming out in the next few months, I'm definitely going to pick up God of War Ragnarok. I'm very excited for that.
Cool.
Nothing else that I'm like I need it. But yeah, that's the big one for me.
Kind of where my head's at. I'd really like the TMNT game. I think that's it. That's my whole list right now.
The new one?
Yeah.
Or the collection?
No, if it came in the collection, but the new one.
No, the new one's really good. The collection is literally just like, I think it's 13 games, but like it's like technically 13 games. Like I know Turtles in Time is in there 3 times because there's the SNES version and the arcade version and the Game Boy version, I think, something like that. So it's just a ROM dump of a bunch of old TMNT games, which is cool. Shredder's Revenge is awesome looking. I want that, and God of War Ragnarok that's Hypno, and then Ashuria says, I just want Stray. Have you heard about Stray?
Oh, I have heard about Stray. Yeah.
I don't think I'll pick it up, but it does look cool.
It seems like the a callback to Goat Simulator.
Except Goat Simulator was a joke.
Yeah.
Goat Simulator was a big
is this game
a big fart, and Stray is like a serious gritty adventure game about a cat.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was like Untitled Goose Game where it does have things you can do. Or if it was it sounds like it's a real game, like an action game. That's crazy.
Yeah, it seems like an explorative, like maybe an Uncharted game is a good example, but you're a cat, and you're in like a post, like everybody's robots. I don't think humans are a thing anymore. It looks interesting. I don't think it's for me. Hypno says 13 games, yes, but different versions of similar games. I'm more of a turtle lover than a cat lover, so I'm not interested in Stray. That's fair.
Fair enough.
Okay, so that is... Let me just check something real quick. Okay, yeah, whatever. Cool. So that's going to do it for us for this stream. Thank you for being here. If you were here, thank you to Rue. Thank you to Ashuria. Thank you to Hypno Crown. If everything goes according to plan, the next stream is going to be Sunday, and it's going to be Kingdom Hearts, and it's also going to be the stream where we do
Yes.
the channel points thing, where
Yeah.
if you're subbed or if you sub, you'll get 3 free channel point rewards that you don't have to spend channel points on. So we'll explain the finer details of that on Sunday. No reason to now. But yeah, Sundays, assuming we can do everything we want to do, Sunday's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to Sunday's stream. And yeah, Miss Marvel was not fun. Miss Marvel was, as far as I'm concerned, like a 4 out of 10. And I think Stranger Things Season 4 was probably a solid 9. Did you say 9?
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. We kind of said it at the same time. Yeah, I don't feel comfortable putting it anywhere lower than a 9. Like, even all the things that I was like, I didn't like this about it, didn't take away from that. It was just a really, really good season of television.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Master of Puppets scene was really great. I meant to mention that. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe.
Our channel has daily uploads from podcast video essays, Let's Plays to skits.
Be sure to watch on Twitch. We stream all our video game and podcast content live at 5 EST every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Our intro is by Brad Kendrick and music by Froggy and the Friendship. Link to all that in the description below.
Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.